Hey friends, in today's video, we are talking about Safemoon. This is going to be really exciting. I'm going to cover 6 things that you need to know if you are considering investing in Safemoon. I'm going to distill away all of the stuff that's happening, and you get so much confusion of what's true, what's FUD. Should I actually invest and do this thing, or should I not? Or maybe you've already invested in Safemoon and then you're like, what the heck did I just get into? In this video, my friends, we're going to cover those 6 things that you need to know, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Don't miss it. All of that coming right up. All right, my YouTube friends, thank you guys so much for joining me again in this channel. Hey there, I am Wes Spencer. I am a technologist, a cybersecurity guy, and I love cryptocurrency and do all of that here in this channel. So no moon pumping here, none of that stuff. We're sticking to technology, we're sticking to innovation and things that just is a process flow from my brain of what I love, getting it out to you guys so you can make your own educated decisions. Now, one thing you can do for me on this channel that goes a long, long way. It's just 2 eensy beensy things. Would you hit the like button and the subscribe button for me? Both of those go a really long way for the YouTube algorithm, you know, that almighty thing that kind of guides us, and also just for the growth of my channel. And man, it makes me smile more. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Just a tiny ask. And you know, going back to doing your own research, this is so important. There are so many YouTube channels out there and Twitter and all these other places that you can go to for crypto news, and that's awesome. But you've got to be careful about the moon pumpers that are out there, right? The reality is anyone that gets into price speculation doesn't really know what they're talking about. That's the truth of it all. If you listen to crypto YouTubers and do everything they say without doing your own research, let me make you a promise, you're probably gonna go bankrupt. So don't do that. Don't listen to people like me. Do your own research. It goes such a long way. Okay, so let's jump into Safemoon for a minute, because there's some really good things that I want to talk about when it comes to Safemoon itself. One of those, let's just start here. Let's just start at the basics. So no bones about it. Safemoon is a burn token. I mean, it is, right? It's got the reflective finance burn mechanism. If you don't know what that means, it means this. Anytime you buy or trade or sell, however you want to look at it, crypto that's a burn token, there is a portion of it that gets burned and destroyed forever, and another portion that goes back to the holders. And there's reasons for this. They want to make it deflationary over time. They want to reward people for holding and not trying to like day trade on a crypto, something like that. So it's a burn token. And here's the reality. There's a bazillion of burn tokens out there, like lots and lots and lots of them. Why? There's no barrier to entry at all. Anyone can take an ERC20 or BEP20 contract from a previous burn token, literally copy and paste that sucker, put a new name on it, some new comments in it, and all you've got to do is spin up a Discord and a Twitter and a Telegram channel, maybe pay some like C-list actor that you've never heard of on Cameo like $100 to promote it, and off you go. And some of them are rug pulls, and some of them are just, they think they're going to get rich quick, and that's the end of it. And they're flashes and pans, and they don't go anywhere. But I want to say this, not all burn tokens are the same. Some have no trajectory. Some, like Safemoon, there's a reason they're blowing up and doing so well. So always keep that in mind. There's no limit to the numbers that are being created all the time. In fact, I get hit up almost every single day from a burn token project wanting to sponsor me. And I almost always say, no, I'm not interested in any of that for all of those reasons. So let's stick a little bit more to Safemoon. And the first thing I want to say when it comes to Safemoon is this right here. While it's definitely a burn token, it has some new things to it. One of the things I look for, and FEG is kind of like this too, feed every gorilla, if you haven't seen my reviews on that one as well, is I look for some kind of technology undergirding it. I look for some kind of like essence of utility to it. And we definitely see that with Safemoon. There's several different ways that's happening. One of those ways, and we're going to cover this in a minute, is the wallet. So we'll just kind of time out on that, come back to that. The second thing that you see coming out of it as well is they've got a crypto education app that's on the way. And I think the goal for that is normally things like mobile mining cryptos like Pi Crypto, which I cover a lot on this channel, and all of these burn tokens, they really attract brand new users into crypto that have never done this before. See, many times new users come in with a mistaken thought of, I'm too late to get into Bitcoin, I'm too late to get into Ethereum, that world has passed me by, and they're looking for like the next moonshot. That's just the reality of how people think. And while that may be a bit erroneous, The truth is this, is that they're looking for something new and they are new to crypto. And so I think the education app that they have coming out is pretty awesome. The other piece of technology that they have coming out that I also think is really exciting is the NFC stuff. So they're going to be integrating in an NFC platform with a video game, or so they say. And I think as far as them having like millions of users in the ecosystem, the chances of them having the command and respect with other game publishers to produce additional NFC capabilities is definitely there as well. Now, hear me. I'm not saying that from an NFC perspective, they're the only ones doing this or the only burn token doing it, but those are three areas of technology that I'm really excited about and give me some amount of belief of like, hey, look, it looks to me like the Safemoon team definitely isn't just building this as a fly-by-night, but they really do want technology to undergird it, which I think is really, really important. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the fact that Safemoon is trending. Now, there's some reasons for this, right? We know it's absolutely blowing up in the media all over the place. I'm going to show this to you. So here's CoinMarketCap. I'm looking at just trending cryptocurrencies, and Safemoon is currently sitting at the number 3 crypto. Now, I've said this before, but I owe it to you again to say, never make your investing strategy. Well, first of all, not listening to YouTubers like me, right? But second, just about as important is never just invest in what's trending. Many of these you'll see up on the network for a while and then they go away. Or others like Keep Network at number 5 that I covered a year ago on this channel. I had like 1,000 subs or something like that. And it took over a year, and yet here they are trending as number 5. So just be careful about that. But there's a reason that something makes it here to trend. There's something happening, some kind of activity that makes everyone search for it and want to know about it. And so if we click on Safemoon, we can dive into it a bit more. You can see its price right here. You can see it's gone down over time. And really, when we look at the market, this is what you normally expect with a lot of cryptos, a ton of volatility. But a couple things I want to point out. So definitely we see here, this is the big bull run that we saw trending and correlating with a lot of cryptos. We also see during these times of like huge price upswings, a direct correlation to volume. You see this down here for the most part, when volume goes up, trading goes up and the value goes up. That just kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of these burn tokens. And yeah, if we kind of look at a 1 month right here, look at this. It's been pretty stable. It's been maybe not quite all-time lows, but it certainly to me looks like a really good time to buy if you're interested. And a lot of the big hedge firms are now starting to come back and say, in our opinion, it's time to buy. It looks like a lot of the fear has gone out of the market and we may have settled. Now, always do your own research. The third time I'm telling you this video, make your own decisions. Don't listen to people like me, and certainly not to a bunch of hedge funds as well. So we see it's trending. We see it's kind of blowing up. Well, let's check out a few things. Here's their website. I'm going to put links for all of this so you can see it in the description. So if you can just check these things out on your own. I'm not doing a deep dive on the website, but I'm just going to show you a few things that I think are important. So you can see 2.3 million holders. That's got a lot of command in the world around us. It shows us there's a lot of people using it and very interested in Safemoon. We can see the supply, 581 trillion that's sitting there, and a $2.1 billion market cap. There are very, very few burn tokens that command a market cap like that. So I think that's pretty important stuff. Whether you believe in Safemoon or not, it's nice to at least see why there's so much buzz about it and see that there's a lot of value behind it as well. I'm going to skip by all of these elements here. I am going to show you this. There's a CertiK audit. I'm not going to dive into the audit. If you guys want me to, I'm a cybersecurity guy in my background. So if you want me to dive into the audit, leave me some comments and I'd be happy to at some point do a video on a review of the actual CertiK audit. You can see the number of tokens, what is in the liquidity pool at $70 million US equivalent. And that's part of where some of the risk comes from, which we'll cover in a little bit. And then the roadmap. And again, we're not diving too much into the roadmap. I've already covered some of it as far as like the technology direction it's going. One thing I will say though on this is they are definitely interested in a charity project. One thing that most burn tokens have from the very beginning and get-go is a charity to start with. Safemoon doesn't do that. But they do promise, they do have ideas, and you can see this kind of right here. They're going towards a charity ecosystem eventually. We're going to have to trust that they do it, right? But just thought I would throw that out there as well. So that's the second thing. We know that it is trending. We know that the technology is there that's causing it to trend, but also you look at the creators themselves and by the way, let me go back and show this to you. So this is another difference right here when it comes to the creators. A lot of burn tokens, you have no idea who they are. Some will like no disclosure at all. Some will say, hey, we're in the UK or in the US or South Africa or wherever it might be. In this case, they're actually showing their names. Now, does this mean that Safemoon is not a Ponzi scheme or is not a rug pull or is not going to completely fail? Of course not. It doesn't mean any of those things. But when a crypto project shows their names, it does go a long way from a reputation perspective. And here's why. Because let's say this thing does fail and fall apart. Do you think these founders are going to have the credibility in the future to do something again? Probably not. So this just shows skin in the game. It doesn't eliminate risk, but it should go into your factoring decisions when you're doing your due diligence on a project to say, is this a good idea for me or is it not? So you can see them here. You can check out their Discord, their Twitter, their LinkedIn. You can connect with them and you can see all about them. And let me just show how that works. Look at this right here. So this is John right here, the CEO that you saw before. He's got over 250,000 followers. So again, this is where you see the buzz coming from. If I hit right here, you can see the Safemoon project itself. They're at almost 1 million followers. Again, same thing. Doesn't mean it's going to go to success. It just means there's a lot of command, a lot of interest in the world around us from others that are interested in Safemoon. And this is where a lot of the buzz is coming from. And you can scroll and see all about what's going on here, but you can see they've got a ton of followers. And that is one of the things that causes people like you who watch this video on a Google search to be like, what is this Safemoon thing? And why is everyone talking about it? There you go. This is where it's coming from. Third thing that you should know, and I don't really have to show you anything on this, but how the heck do you buy it and where do you buy it? Actually, I can show it to you. It's right here with the irony of it all. So if you're interested in it, the best way to buy it currently is just to use Trust Wallet. I've already done a Trust Wallet review. You can see it right here if you want to go check that guy out. But the way that you'll do it, this is a BEP20 token, which means it runs on Binance Smart Chain. And when you, no, I don't want to copy the address, go away. Okay, and then what you'll do is you see it right here. You're going to go into Pancake Swap, and that's where you make your swap. You're going to have to make the slippage fees, all that kind of stuff to make it happen. But right here on Safemoon's Twitter page, it's a pinned tweet on how to do that. So in this video, I'm not going to cover how to do it. You can see enough here. You can go watch some YouTube videos on it if you need more information, but it's not super difficult to buy as long as you understand Trust Wallet, you know how to get a hold of some Binance coin, and you understand how Pancake works. As long as you're good on those things, you are good to go to buy, and there's a ton of information out there to be able to do that. So that's how you buy it, and that's how it runs. And the fourth thing is the Safemoon wallet. I mentioned at the very beginning that the wallet is coming out, and I want to show this to you right here. So this is their intro video for the wallet, and you can just kind of watch this play through with me. A couple things I'll say about all of it. It's currently in beta sign up. It's beautiful. Look at this right here. I mean, it's a gorgeous design. You can tell it's really, really well made. There's a lot of attention to the UX and the UI components to it to make it really, really nice. Now, is this a game changer? Of course not. It's nice to see a wallet, especially because there's so many new users into an ecosystem like Safemoon. It's good for us to see a wallet that's come out. Hopefully it's been well built and it's free of software bugs and vulnerabilities, all that good stuff. But it's nice to see that coming out. It's not a game changer, in my opinion, but it's definitely really, really awesome. Now it's in beta. And a couple things you should know. You can sign up for it. Here's the tweet. I'll put a link in the description so you can get to it. They're looking for certain users of certain types to help them test it. If you do get access, you have to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Now that NDA will expire at the end of the beta period, so it's not super risky or anything like that to sign it. But I'll just say this, for me, I'll happily wait. I'm in no rush to jump into the Safemoon wallet. I will wait to see what pans out, and definitely I'll be a user of it, though. I will tell you that. When it comes out, I'm absolutely going to download it. I'll give it a try, and I'm happy to do a review as well, just so you can have some insight into what I think about the wallet once it's released. But again, to just recap, I think it's great that they're building a wallet. The more we see products built on top or underneath of Safemoon, the more chances of real utility it gets. And next is number 5, the fifth thing that you should know about when it comes to Safemoon, and it's this. There's some contention out there. There's definitely a lot of discussion of like, hey, you know, this seems to be a Dogecoin competitor. And, you know, which am I going to pick? Dogecoin or Safemoon? Which one is going to be the winner? And which one's better than the other in this world of meme coins and all of that, right? And I think a lot of this got all the way up to the founders of Safemoon. They wanted to kind of quash that. I want to talk about this. There's an interesting tweet. Here it is. And again, you'll have access to this. You want to open it. But this is from the CEO, John. And look what he says. He's like, we have no issues with Dogecoin, none at all. Fun fact, the Safemoon chief blockchain officer is involved with the Dogecoin and SpaceX partnership. Huh. Now that's interesting. Is it true? I have no idea. We're going to have to take their word for it. Now, I will say this. A lot of crypto projects are really well known or notorious, I might even say, for salacious claims like outworldly. Are you sure that that's true? Do you have any way to back it up? And I'm not saying this is a salacious claim. I'm just saying I have no evidence to really see. Did they talk to Elon himself about it? Who knows? If you've been living under a rock and you're not super familiar with like the news cycles of Doge, Elon has been all into it. He is saying that he's going to send up a Doge rocket. He's going to actually send it to the moon with like allegedly Doge on it, which I don't really know how that works other than like maybe like a paper wallet or a ledger or something like that. He's going to put it on, whatever. You guys know Elon. He's a troll in chief. I love the guy. He's makes life fun, to be quite honest with you, is my opinion. But they're saying, John is saying that we're involved in that or we're collaborating. I have no idea what level of involvement. It could just be we send an email to him and maybe he'll reply back. It could mean that you're going to see the Doge Safemoon rocket. I have no idea. Nobody really truly knows the truth of it. But it's interesting to see this tweet, and I wanted to distill this a little bit for you. One of the ways I wanted to distill it is this. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? Too often we look at crypto projects is like this, through the lens of which crypto will rule them all. Will Bitcoin officially just kill out everything else? Will Ethereum take over? Will the upstart Cardano beat them? Who knows who's going to be the ruler? And that's not the way to think about it. Think about it with the stock market, right? Do we look at the stock market and say, well, Ford or Tesla, or even better, Ford or Amazon, which one's going to win? No, we don't think about it that way, do we? There's room for multiple companies, multiple solutions, multiple ideas to all survive and thrive in the stock market as a representation of companies. And the crypto space is exactly like that. There are room for multiples. Think about like Celsius and BlockFi, for example. There is room for both. It doesn't have to be which one's going to be the one to win. There can be many that can win. And I think when it comes to even meme coins, where there's not a ton of utility, we're just trying to see which one really is going to do well. Well, there's no reason that Safemoon and Dogecoin both can't equally do well. And so I just wanted to kind of distill that for you and help you understand that. Now, number 6, the 6th thing that we want to talk about is this. This does not come without risk. Don't think that Safemoon is a sure shot. I will talk to some people and they're like, oh man, Safemoon is like, it's the best thing ever. I don't see it failing. Be careful of people like that, right? It's fine to be excited about it, but Safemoon, with all things, comes a lot of risk. There are a lot of detractors that are out there. There are a lot of people that are pumping it. And I'm trying to be kind of unbiased and in between with all this. And typically when you're not emotionally invested in a project, that's how you know that you're in the right spot. And I think we need to be that way with Safemoon. Safemoon could completely fail. First of all, the detractors, and I'm not going to give their names, but there's several really well-known moon pumpers that are out there that are calling Safemoon a complete Ponzi scheme. And the reason they think that is because there's a lot of control that the founders of the Safemoon, like the core team, have over the liquidity pool, and there's a lot of argument over that. So the liquidity pool is where a lot of you saw that I showed you on the website, where a lot of the actual crypto, the Safemoon, will land from trading, where you're buying out of. And because they have access to all of that, they could literally just suck that away and sell it quickly and rug pull on all of this. Now, do I think they're going to do it? My opinion is no. But you should always do your own research. I think there's a lot of indicators that say they wouldn't. You see them building technology underneath it. They're trying to increase the value of it. Look, in the private world, private companies have access to a ton of their own capital reserves. I mean, that's normal stuff. So I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but I see where they're coming from. And you should take that as an element of risk. Also, burn tokens themselves are new. They're not even a year old as far as the concept for the most part. And so we have to keep that in mind as well with a lot of these burn tokens, is like we have no idea the future. They could all completely fall apart. And so this is very speculative and extremely risky. Now, let me say something about risk. Risk doesn't always mean failure, right? Sometimes with risk, there are great rewards that come with it, but sometimes with risk, there is great failure that comes. That's what makes it risky. The fact that it's risky means not everyone is going to do whatever it is that you may want to do. An example of this, when I started my company Perch, we had 1 month of funding, but you know what I was doing before that? I was at a bank. I loved my job. It was super fun. I worked in a corner office of a 150-year-old bank. Look, the bank was going nowhere. It was doing very, very successful. It's going to be around for another 150 years. It really is. It's doing great. So people thought I was crazy. They're like, Wes, why are you stopping and getting out of your bank to go over and create Perch? We've got 1 month of funding. That's extremely risky. And you know what? They're right. It was risky. But here's the thing, through execution, through vision, through some luck, through some hard work, we made it work and we sold it for a whole lot of money. The risk paid off, but it may not have. And that's kind of the thing you have to think about when it comes to crypto is, yes, it's risky. That doesn't mean it's going to work. Yes, it's risky. It might actually fail. And so what does that mean? It means this: never put more money into something that's risky than you're willing to lose. In my case, with my company, what was the worst I was going to lose? My job? Okay, I'll go find another one, I guess, right? I was willing to risk that. I would not recommend to anybody you go take a home mortgage and put it into crypto, like Safemoon or any others that are out there, unless you're willing to risk that completely falling apart and you having to spend the rest of your life paying that thing off, right? Or going bankrupt or whatever it may be. I don't recommend it. So I would recommend, what's your risk tolerance, and then invest according to that risk tolerance. In other words, what you're willing to lose. And that's where I think I fall out in Safemoon. Am I a believer in it? No, I'm agnostic. Where I think it's going to go somewhere, I think maybe it's got a lot of signs that it certainly could go somewhere, but there's no guarantee, which makes it extremely risky. So I am investing in it. We'll see where it goes, but I'm not going to put in so much that if it fails, I'm just going to pull my hair out, what's left, and just completely panic. It's not me. I'm not going to do that. And if it does fail, I'll produce another video and I'll talk about why it failed and even why some of my thoughts on why I thought it was potentially successful were wrong. So I'd love to know from you. What do you think about Safemoon? Are you involved in it? Have you invested in it? Do you think it's going somewhere? Do you think it's going to fall apart? Do you think it needs to do some things to be successful in the future? I would love to know your thoughts on all of these things. All you got to do is leave me a comment. I read them. I would love to know what you think, my friends. Thanks.